guys, I want to thank you for coming back for another video. Today's a nice day out, and I took the day off of work. It's approaching the evening time. I got some things to do, so figure we'll take the vet out today. It's been a little bit since I've driven her. I typically only get to drive it once a week or so. I go into work on Tuesdays, and if it's nice out on Tuesdays, I'll take the car with me. If not, I take the Ram. And then if I don't get to drive it on Tuesdays, I typically try and take it out for a little bit on a Sunday and rip it around one of the mountains around me. But like I said, I typically try and do once a week if I can. Just to kind of keep my sanity and try and enjoy the car a little bit. A little bit of scrapage coming out of the driveway, nothing too major. Probably get no scrapage if I took it a little bit easier coming out, but you know, YOLO. But I've had the car for June, probably going on 3 months now almost. I literally just got the plate for this thing and registration for this thing like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, something like that. Just got it inspected in PA now, and it is officially, you know, legal in the state of Pennsylvania. I have been driving it though, all around. I put maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000 miles, 800 miles, I don't even know. But again, I've been driving it about once a week, and I gotta tell you, just to have the ability to be able to drive this car once a week is just enough. You know, it's work is stressful lately, life is stressful lately. You know, just being able to have that release even once a week is just enough. So I know a lot of guys kind of asking me on Instagram and asking me personally in DMs, what are the plans for the car? Am I doing turbos on it? Am I doing a big blower on it? Am I camming it, long tubing it? And the answer is none of the above. I don't really want to do anything to it, and that's gonna sound weird because anybody that's known me for any period of time or follows me on any social media page, you know that I'm kind of a junkie for modifying cars. But there's a reason for that, because all the cars that I buy aren't exactly what I want or aren't exactly what I'm looking for. They don't hit all the spots, so how do you make it hit all the spots that you want it to do? You modify it. And fortunately for me, unfortunately for you guys that follow me, this car hits all the spots. I mean, I've gotten on this car hard, I've gotten on it light, I've just cruised around, I've done all kinds of different kind of driving with this thing, in traffic, long trips, and the car just, this car just does everything I wanted to do. And it is so nice that after all these years of owning and modifying cars, sports cars, sporty cars, all kinds of stuff, that I think I just finally found that car that I don't really have to do anything to. Would it be an absolute monster if I did? Yeah, absolutely, but I don't have to. Again, with the power to weight ratio in this thing is just perfect. This, you know, 430-ish, 440 horsepower-ish, again, because this is the Grand Sport, so the horsepower is just enough. Not enough to where it's ludicrous, but just enough to where it's fun. It's got just enough of a torque curve to just have a blast with it, pulling out of turns on mountain roads. The 6-pot brakes up front and 4 pots in the rear are just absolutely astronomical in this thing. Again, the power to weight ratio, the wheel and tire combo, the looks, everything in this car is pretty fucking on point, man. It's hard to find, I mean, other than the interior. I'm gonna say, you know, the interior is not fabulous. I don't think it's terrible. I've owned plenty worse cars with plenty worse interiors, and you know, other than the interior, sorry, I just want to get a quick get on it because I haven't got on a little bit, but again, other than the interior, it's hard to find anything really inherently wrong with this car. So again, flaws, cosmetic flaws aside that I found with this car, I know I kind of ragged on it pretty hard on the last video, because again, there are cosmetic flaws. I kind of created a new cosmetic flaw, maybe I'll get into later. It's one of my modifications to make it my own. Kind of fucked up a little bit, but you know, things happen sometimes. But yeah, I mean, all in all, this car just pretty much does everything I wanted to do. The lowness of the car isn't really an issue. Every once in a while, I don't know if you heard it when I was coming out of the development, but development has a little bit of a dip when I'm coming out. So if I don't take that at a hard enough angle, I'll scrape the feelers or under tray, radiator tray, whatever they want to call it. I'll scrape that a little bit coming out of the development, but other than that, I really haven't had any issues with this thing scraping as low as it is. I do think the front is a little bit lowered, and obviously I have the Grand Sport / Z06 you know, front splitter on it, so it is a little bit lower than a base model. I don't think the rear's been lowered at all. It is a little bit raked, it looks like, so I do want to kind of lower the rear a little bit on the factory bolts, of course, because again, you can lower these things from the factory because they have a bolt system set up. So I might just bring the rear down a little bit just to kind of match it. I was thinking about putting spacers on the rear wheels just because I feel like these big monster wheels, they still kind of inset them a little bit for my liking. So maybe I'll put some wheel spacers, I don't know. I did tint the windows. I put a new aftermarket double dim radio in there. Excuse me. With the wireless CarPlay. I have a wing that I'm looking at to put on this thing. But other than that, you know, it might just be some cosmetic stuff, really. Otherwise, performance-wise, I was thinking about getting rid of the mid-pipe and replacing the mid-pipe with a non-resonated mid-pipe. Just kind of wake it up a little bit because this thing does have a Corsa catback exhaust on it, but the prior owner did put a two very large resonators on the mid-pipe, probably to tone down the burble, because we all know what Corsas sound like when you open them up a little bit. So I think it sounds good inside the car. It's not obnoxious. As you guys can hear from the opening clip, it's got a little bit of a burble and startup. It's pretty nice, but it's not obnoxious. So I'm kind of hesitant to mess with that mid-pipe because I don't want it to be obnoxious. I do enjoy driving it now, and you know, I like listening to my music. So I don't know that I want obnoxious. But I'm sure it sounds pretty decent out the back of the car for people behind me. Well, let's get in the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, hopefully you guys can hear me, is the TR6060. So if you guys know from my GT500, I absolutely loathe the TR6060. I hated the TR6060 with such a passion. It just was the bane of my existence. It had me questioning if I really knew how to drive a manual car after all these years of driving manual cars. Well, I'm here to tell you guys the TR6060 in a Corvette is completely different animal. It shifts like absolute butter. Again, from my intro video when I got this thing, more and more time with it, this thing just shifts like absolute butter. I almost didn't get this vehicle because of the TR6060, and I'm glad that I did because it is a completely different beast. So I am happy about that. I don't know what the wind noise is going to be like on this video. It's probably going to be pretty terrible, but I had to have a day with the top off because I haven't been able to do that much. I haven't driven it at night with the top off at all yet, so maybe tonight will be that night. Maybe I'll take the wife out to dinner. We'll see, but so far she's enjoying the car because it's not a nightmare. I'm enjoying the car because it's not a nightmare. Like I said, it's just enough. It's a fun car. It looks great. I've never had a stock. To me, this is a basic vehicle, but I've never had a stock basic vehicle that has broken so many necks and caught so much attention. We had the Texas Roadhouse the other week with it, and I parked in the lot, and I had so many people going up to the car, checking it out, taking pictures of it. And to me, I'm just not used to that for a stock car. And to me, a Corvette isn't all that special, in my opinion. You know, it's not like a McLaren or Ferrari or Lamborghini. It's not like a supercar like that it should get that kind of attention, but it does. Maybe because it's yellow, maybe because it's a Grand Sport, it's the faux, you know, Z06. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I love the way it looks, but I wouldn't go out of my way to be taking pictures of it and gawking it like crazy if it was in a parking lot. But apparently this is that car, it does that. So again, overall, I absolutely just love this car. We're gonna go ahead and stop the video. I'm gonna cruise for a little bit and we'll come back. Alright guys, so sorry this video wasn't all that exciting. I thought I was gonna do a little bit more cruising, but I'm heading back from the function I was going to. Maybe I'll take it out a little bit more tonight and try and enjoy some nighttime cruising with the top off. But anyway, I have nothing more to say, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything specific you want to see on the C6, please let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for the next videos on any maintenance I'm going to do to it, or any of the small mods I'm going to do. And I'm open for opinions and options for what kind of footage you guys want to see, other than something that's going to cost me $1 billion. So keep it realistic, and I'll try my best to oblige. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the update, and we'll see you guys on the next one.